LLC. So what we're doing right now, if you're looking down to get a shot of this, so I have the camera down correctly, you're getting a look at the Vava Wemax, and there's another projector which I don't pronounce correctly too well. You're looking at their screen paint. So keep in mind, for those who've been asking about, can I use this with my can I use this with my other projector that may not be one of those models? Yeah, you can. It's designed for all sorts of projectors, so you can use it for that. But with our black technology, this does not work too well. The Vava projectors, those particular projectors do not work well with our black technology. They don't come out too well. You can't see the screen. The new technology we have here basically does. I didn't buy any rollers, just to let you know, I'm just using this right here, chopstick, and this one is how I painted the screen in over there. This is the formula right here. We've had it many years ago. I used to make this stuff for companies they had a company who had that particular projector, and they bought quite a few of them. So, decided instead of basically turning them away, maybe we can help them out and make something for their projectors. Now, we're blessed to have the ability to make any kind of screen paint we choose. Anything we want, anything I pray and ask the Lord makes it possible, we can make it. This is one of the screen paints we made. As I told you before, my library is extensive. I can go back into my library as far as 7s. We can bring any one of those out of the library and upgrade them to 48 and 57 technology. That's why I was sitting there and I was looking at the gunmetal. I was like, why are we engineering a whole new gunmetal? That's a whole lot of work to do. We literally have several different types of gunmetal in our library. We have gunmetals displayed on the page on how much, the most advanced one we have, I think was a Phantom we did. The last one we did was a Phantom. I got to check. So we take the last one we did, the most advanced one we had at that time, and we convert that over to 57 technology. So going through all that work. It's already been tested. All we got to do now is just upgrade it. Now, spray on application, this stuff has been spray on roll on. A spray on for this would be so freaking smooth. It'll be beautiful. And if you don't have one of these projectors, yes, you can use this with your Optima. You can use this with other projectors if you choose. Just to make a difference. The only difference with this is compatible with people who have those projectors that we have to turn away. So that's what it's for. Now I was checking out the Vava screens, what they want for them. I was right on the money. They want $600 for them. That's what they want for them. $600 thing for a 100-inch, that's what they have. I think as big as their projectors go, I think they go from a 100-inch to a 120-inch. This would be a quick rolling application, but I'm using a roller that we suggest you do not use. It's the only thing I have in the house. I had rollers in the house, but I gave them away because I had a few customers who didn't have rollers on hand, so we gave them to them. Now it has a little bit darkness to it, and that's so it can pick up contrast better, and it works well with our ambient light rejection technology, which we needed to do. I need this thing to react like a TV. There we go. So if I can do it with this, which we advise you not to do, rolling and spraying over thing is it's going to be a cakewalk. Now me on the other hand, because we made the formula, if we get to a paint sprayer, it's going to come out super smooth. If I were you guys, personally, how I would do it, I would get a sheet of plexiglass and I would coat this over a piece of plexiglass with a paint sprayer. That would come out looking super beautiful. Oh, it look beautiful. So let's see how it reacts. See if there's anything in there we may have to change or fix. All right, so we should be good from there. This is just the little test we're gonna have to see how it reacts to our new stuff. And let me get a drill bit in here, punch a hole in the wall. We can put it over one of the speakers, set up an ultra short circuit projector, and then we go from there. But it has a very beautiful color to it. I do like the color, like the shade. It's going to give it the ability to pull contrast, which is one of the things I do like. Now, is it going to be as advanced as the black technology we make? No, it's not, because it's not going to pull 100% black level, but this is going to be a heck of a lot better than spending $600 for a screen at 100 inches. Keep in mind, this quart paints up to a 150-inch screen. So instead of you spending thousands of dollars just to get a 150-inch screen for some combo setup, you can use this technology instead. And here we don't have lights that reach 21 feet from the screen. I don't understand that. I really don't. Got the drill. Yeah, next week it's going to be Sandy City, which means I got to patch all the holes in this section right here. We have to prime the surface because this surface right here is some kind of a child protective surface. So we're going to have to put that in there. And to prime that whole surface and get that ready. Get this thing to dry. I don't have a work area yet. We're not doing any spraying in the house. We're not doing that. I got other people who live here besides me. Pretty sure they don't want to smell chemicals, and I don't want to. When I was in the house, different story. So I'm in the process of actually renting out a workspace for this summer because I have to do a lot of spray on demonstrations, and we got that ad tech technology coming out. So we're going to have a place to work at, especially for the new screen we got coming out called Cinema Flow. That has to be sprayed in. So I got a couple places I'm going to be getting rented out to work. All right, let me see. Got to go pick up a fan. Truthfully, we don't have any fans in this place, but it'll dry on its own. All right, let me get things ready in here. Next page here. So what made me change my mind about basically making a screen frame for these particular projectors was the fact that a customer, when I talked to him, I had to turn him away. He had the projector, I had no choice to turn him away. Can't something it's not going to work. And I felt kind of bad because some people can take the projector back and get their money for it. And some people have had it for too long and they can't, and they're stuck. They're stuck between the white screen, these gray screens that don't do the job like they're supposed to do, and they're stuck with the companies that are going to be now coming out with these expensive projection screens. I told you, they're going to be coming out with these marry this and marry that projection screens that are compatible and give you that, and they're going to charge you a ton of money because they know you have no other place to go. You can't go to gunmetal technology. That stuff won't pick up on gunmetal. And by the way, so you look at that screen, that's not gunmetal. That's nowhere near a gunmetal screen. That's why when I see screens that color, claim to be gunmetal. No, no, no. Stop doing that. Gunmetals are extremely dark screens. These are screens that can be easily mistaken for black screens because they're that dark. The perfect gunmetal, as I said before, is a screen that can come right. The closer to the edge you come to being black, but not being black, is perfect gunmetal. But gunmetal is not that at the end of the day. Now, if gunmetal didn't exist, those super dark screens didn't exist, then at that particular time, way back, way back, when people were making great products, a screen that color was considered to be black because there were no other black screens or gunmetals that exist. But now that you actually have physical gunmetals that do exist, they are called gunmetal now, and that is called gray. Well, that one's a little different than gray. So that's where that comes in. So when I see people who make lighter paints and they make something a little dark and they go, no, stop it. That's not gunmetal. You go on any form site to look at no, that's charcoal gray. That's not gunmetal. Gunmetals almost look black. That's when I was looking at daylight screen and I was staring at it is that black? When I got it over, I was like, oh, it's gunmetal. Yeah, they're that dark. I've had demonstrations. I painted in gunmetal screens. I gotta find that demonstration. And Phantom was literally so dark that I had to take a black screen and stick it against it so you can see the difference. Like, look, it's not black, it's actually gray. So that's the goal of the perfect gunmetal, is to get a screen right on the tethering end of black, but not being black. The closer you get it to that edge without tilting over into the sea of black, the more advanced the technology. But then again, keep in mind, even if you do make them that dark, they still have to be to receive and understand white light. So you have to go through a ton of white light test. Because you darken it doesn't mean it passes a test. You still have to go through all those tests. You have to have all those tests to back up that the product works. No company will sign with you. People will not do business with you unless you have tests on the products. Everything we have in this technology right here has been tested. This is old technology converted to new technology. So I've done so many screen paints, I literally never have to make a screen paint ever again. I can literally go back and pick up old stuff and advance it to new stuff. Even 12s can knock out certifies. 7s can knock out certifies. No, wait, think about that. 7s were black. 12 can knock out a certified. 12 could definitely do it. A 7 wouldn't be to do it. A 7 at the time was pretty much it was a strange color. I can't remember the color, how weird that color was. A strange, weird color. 12s were. No, 7s were. 7s had a really strange color to them. All right, so let's see what we got here. See if we got to tone it down. If it's going to take the heightener and all that stuff like that, which only takes a couple of minutes for us to be able to adjust it. That's not hard to do. Let me see. I want to grab the whole whopping giant table. We're just going to skip the other one, get the portable unit. The little table's just much easier. Oh shoot, what am I doing? Literally forget that's on that page 24/7 in here. Literally forget that's on. You ain't got to deal with the angry cat early in the morning. Meow! Meow! Let me show you what's going on in the next one real quick. So every morning, we got the little zoo over here. We got the guard cat in the window, and boom. Every morning, like clockwork, lay my projector on all night. So I wake up to when I get up. 150 inch. Those who may want to doubt my ambient light projection technology skills, I wake up to every night, or every morning. Wow! What you inspecting outside? Why do you guys do that? That's the most annoying thing the cats do. Cat will walk, catch up to you, walk in front of you, and slow down. You guys would make horrible drivers, you would. Cause all kinds of accidents. I don't know why they do that. Maybe it's that king. They feel like they're the king and they have to walk behind them at their pace. Yeah. Scratching posts. Attacking the scratching posts. You. All right, let's get ourselves a stand here. Now, usually, darkened screens absorb heighteners pretty well. And the screen's still a little tad wet, so we expect to see a little this, that, and the other. Just normal. But we have to see how the new stuff is going to react to our heightener technology. Would have been better off with the table or the stand? Let me see. The table's a little bit taller, but the stand can be, we can basically stand taller too. What's he arguing with now? So he's always arguing with something. Oh, the other day he's arguing with something outside. Oh, something disrupts him. Disrupts his world. Yesterday it was a giant pigeon. Today he's doing battle with the squirrel, and it's an endless, everlasting battle with a hawk, which I didn't even know where the freak came from. But somehow it came. Is that right? All right. I swear, I am never going to buy a Fire Stick as long as I live ever again. Which one's the projector, right? Fire Sticks don't last, but Jack. Man, they had the most jacked up systems. I mean, that Chromecast wasn't even that bad. One thing I like about the Chromecast was literally like you had to have it connected to your phone. It was independent. You didn't get that many channels and all that. With Fire Sticks, gee whiz Louise, those suckers have all kinds of issues attached to them. If anyone that says, well, the guy was like, well, have you really tested them? Have I really tested how many Fire Sticks I've actually owned? Quite a lot. I think I've had over 20 Fire Sticks in here. All kinds. And my sister wants me to get the TV. I'm not going to spend the money for that. I can see the nightmare behind it. I already see the nightmare she has with it. You got to argue with that sucker. Just get your lights to turn on. Just turn the lights on. For God's sakes. All right. Yeah. Are we overshooting this? Freaking these are ultra short throws. So they're going to be right on top of the screen. All right, let's get some power over here. Let's see if we need cords and stuff. Let's see if we can set up with this. Which we never do. I'm going to pick up a laser projector. You know, Casio makes a laser projector. A lot of people don't realize. They got a laser hybrid projector. Only thing is, they're a bit dangerous. I got to do a tutorial on the Casio projector. They have a weird cord to the back, which are very easy to get, but still you got to be careful with those projectors. You're an old man, bitter old man. He's using Taco. Taco in a previous life was a bitter old man. That's what he was. Now let's decide whether or not we need to put in a toner to adjust the screen. But our screen is still wet too on top of that, so. Okay, we need remote controls, which I don't know why. Oh, we're on the floor. That would help. Okay. Clean filter. Only got to get around to doing that one. All right, I got you. Clean the filter. I'll get you. Get you today. Gee whiz Louise. Our screen is still a little wet, which you're not worrying about. Just need that screen to change. We need the tone and contrast to accept. We need to see if the screen basically is pushing out too much light, because like I said, heighteners don't do too well when it comes to screens with lighter screens. Darker screens we actually do quite well. So let's see if we can do this. We had a screen called an LT gunmetal, which was actually very light gunmetal. 4K tropical fish YouTube. That's one big fish. I'm bigger than the Goliath, and Goliath is a really big fish. Oh, it's still a little wet. All right, good. A good sign for us is as it's wet. As long as I'm seeing the screen come up a little brighter, that's good. That's really good. So this what I'm gonna do with this surface right here. This surface is pretty jacked up. We're gonna get a new surface. We're gonna pick it up today. We're going to coat over that one with an official size ruler, because that's the only thing I had. I had to see what I'm looking at here. And then we're gonna do another one. I need to do a portable one. That's what I need to do. But we need to see if it's going to also absorb this light in here too. AK Earth. Fight for that one. That's fantastic. Man, they pump these things out so fast. I mean, usually I got to go through demonstrations. I got to wait a bit to get one. They pump these things out on a regular. This one just came out an hour ago. See something from Hank. Yeah, we're definitely still wet, so we'll be doing a couple of these today. Now I advise that you're going to be painting this. The surface we used was pretty much marked, but you need to see how the performance was going to come out on the surface. We do advise you basically paint this on a surface that's not marked. I should put my wall here because I want to see how it's going to react to the surface and react to the wall. Because I'm painting mine. This is not, trust me, I'm not using this on my P2. I am using black technology for my P2 because this, I have a name brand projector, so I'm using a black screen of mine. But this is to help people out who have projectors that can have the ability to pick up on our technology. Samsung 4K demonstrations. Your contrast shifters are kicking in, so that's good. That's really good. That's exactly what, oh yeah, that's what we needed. That's what I'm talking about. You mean to tell me they couldn't get that machine to pull up? 21 feet, lights are 21 feet in the air. I got LED lights over top of me. My screens are real hot. My lights are high fluorescent LED lights. They hit the screen. And you couldn't pick up at 21 feet? Oh man, I'd have walked through 21 feet like it's nothing. That's not even touching the screen for us. Yeah, I'm going to apply some of this to the wall. I want to get another look at this on the wall too. The surface we have here, like I said, has been marked a few times. I didn't get a chance to prime it, but I wanted to see exactly how it's going to react. The contrast levels are actually pulling quite nicely, which means the shifting technology we put into allows the screen to be able to accept a little contrast and bring it up. It's not going to produce exactly, because we're not going to put that in there. We're not misleading you. I'm not trying to do that nonsense in the day. People are going to sit there and say, oh, it's contrast. Stop doing that, please. We specialize in black technology. We should know of all people. But I do need that black level to come up at a decent level, and we need to see that black level come up in all this light, which is very important. We don't want it to basically fade out. We don't want any discoloration to it whatsoever. And right next to it is a physical black screen sitting next to it. All right, I'm happy with this. I'm gonna need to basically, from here, I wanna go in and I want to paint some of that wall. That's what I wanna do. It's still wet, but I wanna paint some of that wall. But I do like the color. If I do decide to lighten it up a little bit, I don't want to lose the contrast. This is the battle you go into. If you lighten it up too much, the contrast levels wash out. This thing is maintaining a very good contrast level. Not a 100% black, a good contrast level with this much light. My lights over the top of my head are actually fluorescent lights. So the fact that it's able to maintain that black horse popping up is extremely good. That projector has a 4,000 to 1 contrast. Even at 3,000 to 1 contrast, you still would get much an improvement, which is really good. The colors come up beautifully. So what we want to do is I want to paint this to the wall because the wall is much smoother than this surface. See the little blots we have in here? I'm going to do this for the wall because we got to coat the thing anyway. I got to prime this wall and get ready for the new gunmetal technology on this. All right, so now I got an idea. I'm going to coat my wall. And we'll go from there. Let me get some plastic down so I don't end up messing up the rug. I want to test it on Starfield Screensaver. We just need to do a little spot. That's all we need to do. Nothing special. Fortunately, we're going to be using our chopstick roller. I have to go order some new rollers because, like I said, I gave them other ones away to the customers for them. I do like you got that nice tone there. It comes in nicely. Now, the reason why I said I would never develop a screen for any one of these companies, because you know what they're going to do? They're going to charge a lot of money for it. That way the customer's going to be back to square one. So sitting up there spending money for an overpriced screen all over again. No, that's why I said never, never, never. As long as we keep it out of their hands, they can't charge that kind of money for it at the end of the day. So that'll even the playing field right there. Nicely. Now, like I said, this wall has that protective coating on it, so we're going to be putting that also into our paint on instructions. That when you come across this kind of wall, we do advise you to prime it. Because this protective coating means you have to make multiple passes over the surface because of that. I realized about these surfaces when I was basically when I was painting my screen in my old house, when I was using the Ultima GT5500, that wall was a pain in the freaking neck to paint over. Because that protective surface is something else. They have them on certain projection screens too, have them too. Silver tickets, we run into them all the time. Not so much, what do you call it, elite screens. We don't run elite screens, but silver tickets, we did run into them a few times. Not painting anything special, just doing a little paint job, that's all. Designed to be a professional design, huh? I don't like painting on these surfaces, painting the neck. There we go. And my cat, for some reason, is doing bad with God knows I don't know what outside. Don't touch him, he bites. I'll tell you that much. Alright, we're gonna have to let this dry and hit it again. Like I said, because of that protective coating, I'm definitely gonna have to hit all my walls multiple times. So, mind you, that product is designed to be this dark. Because of the protective coating, we can't basically get it to attach. It's supposed to be that dark. But because of the protective coating, this is why we advise you, we're gonna have this on the page. One of the instructions I'm painting this thing in, if you come across one of these surfaces and have that protective coating attached to it, we do advise you to prime it. If not, you're gonna be doing multiple coats to cover that thing. And I know, because I've done it already. I have done that quite a few times already. Why did I put this much out? We literally didn't need this much paint out. This stuff has crazy coverage, way too much. I always do this to myself. Always. Mother George. Wish we had a fan in here, but we don't, people. Every time we fast over, it's going to get a little bit darker, but I don't want to do multiple coats. I hate doing that, but we don't have a choice here, people. Fortunately, my walls in here are all protective coating. That's the problem. Should have painted this on a much bigger surface. Ouch. Seriously? Why is my exercise equipment didn't know before? Now the reason why we have it on the star field, because I need to see how the contrast level is going to be reacting in a fully lit environment. As I told you before, when you do demonstrations on contrast levels, they must be done in fully lit environments. People want to do these in the dark, so they can give you a much darker level. You're not supposed to do that, because the customer eventually is going to turn his lights on. And he's going to be sitting up there thinking, what the freak just happened? That's why they must be done in the dark. Move. See, watch. Now, you see how dark the level got? This is why you don't do these tests in the dark. This is misleading the customer. Customer needs to see the screen with as much light as possible. That way you can see where do the contrast levels lay. Because the last thing I want to do is be embarrassed, and I hate to be embarrassed. So that's why I like to do my demonstrations with the lights on, so that way I don't have to worry about going through that freaking fiasco. I was listening to some Marvin Gaye last night. I remember when Marvin Gaye passed away. I think it was 1984, 85 when it happened. Quite shocking that his father took his life, but yeah, I remember that. I can remember that. I was born in 1968. No, yeah, 68. Actually, I was born 1 year before the moon landing. Moon landing was in 1969, I think it was. 61, I can't remember which one it was, but I know we were somewhere in that area. A lot of stuff went on in the 60s when I was coming up. Let me get my fire stick, wherever I put it at, because who knows where it's at. No. Fire stick for probably next time knowing you. I'll go next one, check out the fire stick. Get a fire stick in here. Just had it for the fire stick. Just had it in my hand. Just look. Oh, there it is right there. And I want to do this other surface too. Walk into you, I'm going to walk into you, I'm going to run right over top of you. You don't like to move. Yeah, whatever. Oh, this is pretty good. All right, so I got other forms of surfaces in here, which I need to see exactly how this stuff is going to coat. This is what I'm checking out. Next time I will buy some professional rollers, just didn't have any at the time in the house. And we did have rollers, but I gave those away. Because again, we had some customers who needed some rollers, and I decided to give mine. That's good. That's extremely good. Oh man, that's fantastic. That is micro mesh that just coated over top of. Literally just went right over top of it. That's really good. And I'm using this, mind you. I'm not even using a full 9-inch roller. That went over really good. Oh, that's good. Okay, that adds a few things to the list. It's my chopstick roller. Yep. Usually when I'm dealing with fabric is something that usually we advise you to prime it first. But that went on really nice. All right, that's good. It has an extremely good absorption, which is good, which means we don't have to pretty much prime surfaces. Okay, that's good to know. That's extremely good. Means you don't have to prime the surface on this one. Oh, give me room. Well, this is the reason why we're getting a workshop. So yeah, I'm in the process this summer of actually getting a workshop. That's what I'm working on. Getting a workshop. I think I might need a woman, a wife. I don't know. Okay, so drying time is actually really good because this section over here is already dry, so that's good. I know I should be doing it back and forth, people. It doesn't make a difference. I've painted screens in so many different directions, it doesn't really make a difference. That's my hand rubbing that. With the screen. Hey, Taco! Get it together in there! You're losing it! The freak is wrong with him? Nut job, I swear. We have a problem with the window. You need to come out of it. We're not having it. Get out of control. Well, they can't run the window. I don't want to hear. I'm pretty sure nobody over there. Shut it up. Gee, whiz Louise. Running his mouth out the window. I don't know what the freak he's talking to or what is he talking to. He needs to shut that up. Now let me show you something. And the wall is childproof. You see this? And you go over the surface. Do you see how light the surface comes up like that? That's a childproof surface. A surface that's already coated like this would come up like this. Now, you see how the image came on nice and dark? There you go. I get this all the time when I have, we don't want the naysayers to say we're going to do multiple passes over the screen. Let me explain something to the naysayers. I have more knowledge in this field than you guys have because I've been here longer than you have. If you want to, you can check the timestamp on the videos and see exactly, well, actually, my video guys who has more. I do because I've been here longer than you have. I've done more testing than you have. I've been on more walls, more surfaces, more projectors, built more screens. I've done more tests on certified screens than you have, so I'm more experienced than you have. I know the difference. If I hit a wall and it has a protective surface on it, it comes up with an interesting kind of, on how it lays down. It comes up too light because the surface behind it that's protecting it is breaking down the material. Now, the surface over here, and we have where the wall is already coated, because it already has an application on it, I can roll over that very easy and nothing's going to push through. Now you see when you did your surface, if you notice, the black was pushing through. You had to do multiple coats. Only had to do one. I had to do two here because the surface has a protective coating attached to it. That's why. That's one of the things I noticed that when I watched the demonstration and I saw how he had to go over and over again on a black surface. It should have been one coat and that thing should have been gone. Not multiple coats over and over and over again. That shows me right there that the paint was weakened so badly by the water that it couldn't even coat the surface. It kind of, when you paint a wall that has a protective surface, it kind of has that feeling to it like there's oil in it. It does. It won't take to the surface for Jack. Now, see right here? One hit. One hit. This is how fast you should have been able to roll over that surface. One coat, that's it. If I had to hit that thing 3 or 4 times, then there's something wrong there. And I'm doing this with a chopstick. There you go. Now see how there's no black pushing through? There you go. Should have been one hit. That's it. Be done. That's why this wall, before we basically apply the gunmetal technology, we're going to have to prime the entire surface. Because again, the ceiling didn't have that issue because it didn't have it on it, but the walls got it. So I guess, and which is actually kind of fantastic because when I was doing my trim, I caught the wall a couple of times. I believe you just take something hot, rub it, and just remove it just like that. But you see how much darker it is on this side than that side? Because this surface is already primed. Which makes me now want to switch over there while this one's drying. What are you outside losing your mind about, boy? Yeah, I don't want to hear it. Out there making all that noise. Sound like a tomcat. It's 12 o'clock at night arguing with other tomcats. No! You don't understand! You don't understand! Understand what? You don't understand! Understand what, Taco? Understand what, Taco? Understand what, Taco? Now, we should do a tutorial. I'm gonna do a tutorial before I coat this wall over because we need to do this on why. I've done a couple of demonstrations on why you don't paint certain surfaces. They don't work well. Now, see the surface here? This is a protective surface. Do you see how light the paint goes on? You see how heavy it goes on here? Because it's already covered. It's covered over the picture. That's why I have to prime the wall. Difference between this and that. Because the wall has that protective surface on it. Only been in 2 houses I've actually ran into that problem with. And that was this place, or this apartment, they say house. This place and the house on transfer over here because we got that surface right there. The house over on oh man, I can't think of Upper Derby Town, St. Lawrence. Yeah, St. Lawrence had that wall like that. Man, I have to paint it in. I have to paint over. I brought in the Optima G2 in there. I need to transfer this over to there because I got a serger on that side. That's going to require multiple coats, lie you not. So I'm going to prime this wall on, because I don't like that we got block to the wall now. I'm going to prime the wall in freaking next week. We'll start the prime job on the wall. Get ready. Get it prepped for the new stuff. And then I got to go and I got to paint my entire wall. Be nice. Be nice. I got to go paint my entire wall for the P2. Now the reason why I say that is because you'd be surprised the kind of dumb stuff, emails I receive from time to time. We receive some pretty dumb emails. So they're quick to point out in our demonstrations, oh, this is wrong, this is wrong. Again, y'all don't have the experience in the field to talk. I know a wall when I painted enough of these walls. Again, I'm not trying to be rude here, but these are individuals in the day that don't know measurements. I don't know how you can stick it in my screen at 150 inches for 110. That's a little far off right there. And the wallpaper screen at being 90 inches, clearly I just said the screen is on Amazon, they're 4x8. That is nowhere near a 90-inch screen, about 106 inches. That'd be the size of it. So if I'm painting a wall, and I tell you that the wall at the end of the day basically has a protective coat and this product is not attaching itself to it, then that's what's going on. That's why we have a surface over here that's already was previously painted. I can roll over that with one hit, no problem. When that screen dries, it'll be darker in the center because it had a surface to protect it. Actually to apply over top of it to protect the surface, where the surface that I actually painted around it, it's going to still come up lighter due to the fact that the protective surface trying to break down the formula, which you're seeing right there. Okay, now I need me a plug. Come on now. There we go. Fire sticks are on battery packs. I do like that fact that I don't pass over that screen that much. Oh, we're in standby status. So I'm gonna have to go over that a couple of passes. I have stand. Well, I know why they put it in here, because it's easier to clean up the walls, especially if you got kids in here you got to deal with. Fire sticks right there. Let's move over my surface because I definitely want to use this one. Gotta get that filter clean, bird. Sorry about that, people. And like I said, if you're expecting us to act like the gunmetal technology, meant gunmetal, the black screens, no, because again, it has to be physically black to do it. These walls are perfectly flat. Let's see. AK, Earth. AK, Earth. My screen is wet, so my screens are wet, they're a little darker. In case my 150-inch black screen couldn't pull in, the next one would be virtually impossible. So they all come out darker. And as they start to dry, they get lighter. The screen's still wet. Have any fans in here, so it's going to have to dry on its own. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to do a over top of the surface. Definitely going to have to prime everything on this here. Gee whiz, that means I got to prime my wall in the next room too. I might just do both at the same time. I'm gonna prime, before I paint my other screen, I gotta prime this one, I'm gonna prime the other one. Because I'm definitely not, this screen's about 155. Yeah, I'm gonna knock over both, get some bullseye and knock them both out. That way I don't have to go through this. One coat will be done. Can't be doing multiple coats. That's what drives me crazy. We're doing my wall surface. Let's try it out. So yeah, when you use that, like I said, the child surface, yeah, paint in the neck. Now what we do know is that one of the things, if you are using a product that does have paint in it, 100% paint in it, then we know from the door, if you're able to paint over a childproof surface, we know it's in your product. Usually the high performance screens have a difficult time painting on a surface as a protective surface. But if your product rolls over in one hit, oh, we know it's in your stuff. There's certain stuff that, like I said, people paint over certain surfaces that give up information. Yeah, we know it's in it. If I were to just use any kind of paint, didn't even need a primer, just a basically flat and boom, go over top this, yeah, it would basically knock it out with no problem. Sony 4K demonstrations. So we're going to be lightening up as the screen starts to dry. Mine is just drying on its own, no fan. Now as you can see here on the other wall right here, see we do the one pass coat. Because it has a protective coating, it's not going to take. We have to do multiple coats to cover it. That's the problem. On this side over here, one coat because the surface already had coating over top of it. A childproof surface, man, is a pain in the neck to paint over. I went through this when I was painting the 50-inch in and the other house on the Ultima GT55. I had to do multiple passes to cover that stuff. And the first thing I said, oh, it's a childproof coating on here. This is going to be a freaking headache. So I learned from experience that next time I come across this surface to prime. So I got to prime these walls and I got to prime the wall in there before we can actually apply the application because I am not going through that. It's a freaking headache. My camera here is a little tilted off. I'm gonna order me a box fan, literally. Now, mind you, no odor, absolutely no odor. At the end of the day, like I said, I could vouch for that. I got respiratory issues. I got my windows shut, which we advise you not to do, but I forgot the windows weren't open. I do have the heat on, which we also advise you not to do. I'm breaking all my freaking rules at the end of the day. Pop me a window. But yeah, no odors, none of that stuff. Everything I work around, I'm going to be highly sensitive to, because it'll trigger my breathing the wrong way. If anyone's going to know, I'll be the first to find out. Also good to know that it'll coat over any surface, because that surface was black. One roll should have knocked it out. That's why I said doing multiple passes shouldn't have happened. It should have been one hit, knocked it out.
Wake up and smell the sizzlies. $2 and $5. Great mornings start at Wawa.
This is aging time. This is daily nutrients and gut health support. Powering
So I want to add more height into it. We add more height into it, we actually up the white levels on it, but I don't want to take away from the contrast levels, and this is where it gets tricky. Now, is it finished? No, this is tweak, which means we still have to tweak it. There's some things that when I do these demonstrations, if I say it's a final product and it's done, it's done. I'm tweaking it to see exactly what we can change with. This is an older product being advanced to the newer technology. It only takes about a couple minutes to tweak a screen. It's not like a 3 and 4 day process. I've had screens we've actually pushed on demonstrations that were black, that were literally producing so much white light, they were coming off like hot spotting. We were able to adjust them within a day. Not hard to do. You just need to see how the screen's going to react. That's fairly easy to do. All right, so I know what I got to order. I'll have it in here. I'll put the order in a few minutes, what we need. Because I want to be to keep my contrast. Definitely want to keep that. Where's my rug at? I like the contrast. It's giving good contrast. White levels need to be a tad higher. And we need to drop something in there to do it. So that we do need to change. That's not hard to do. As long as I keep my contrast up, which is very important. Red screen. probably still wet. Let me see. Yeah, we're still wet. We'll have to test it when it's finally dry, and we're going to have to test it again when we add in the heightener to actually up the white levels a little bit more. That's what we're definitely going to have to do. Let me put this one. We have to get one that's dry too. That's why I'm doing the other surface over here. I need an idea of what we're doing. Work, people. All right. Blue screen. So a lighter in here, so drying in there. Sony 4K demonstration. Where do you think this Sony? Give me this one instead. Over my surface here. We're going to get these screens to properly dry. I'm going to come back in, see if we need to add a heightener to it, and then we should be good. Very difficult to try to get a technology this light to react to the technology we have now. It's used to be working with darker technology. Black screen I can coat it on, be done, and that's it, because it'll take to the formula much better. So it's right here, yeah. Came up nicely. And this one. So we got the surface here, the before and after, so that way I can get an idea. So many times I had to coat the surface. This is why the child protective surface, child protective coating is a headache, because you have to do multiple coats in order to get the head. And right there, we still have a spot right there. I've coated my projector. I'm too far from my string. Here's right. Seriously. All right, let's disconnect from in here. I gotta put it back up over here. This wall's coated, this wall's not coated over there. I need to see which one of these. Probably got to put a heightener in to lighten it up a little bit. The contrast levels are good. Just need a little bit more brighter. That's what we need. I'm gonna have to bring out several projectors. We have a Sony. Where's the Sony at anyway? I don't think I even know where the remote controls for the Sonys are. All right, we're red again. Let me see. Like I said, we can do this the easy way. I can take all the lights, make it completely dark in here. We don't do that. These screens have to activate in fully lit environments. It's very important that they do. Don't do these things in the dark, especially ultra short. Those are definitely not supposed to be in a dark environment. The screen's going to have to activate in a fully lit environment, but I'm probably going to bring in a heightener to just heighten it a little bit for the white levels, and we should be good from there. Let's see if we test the projector and also too, all right, got that one right there. We gotta find the Sony 2 because we have a Sony 2 also too. We need to run it off. I gotta yank out my filters on this thing. All right. No, okay, this one, we need to see the contrast level on this. Clean filters, clean filters, clean filters. Now it's better. Much better. Still want to put a little bit more of a heightener into it. But I don't want to lose my contrast in the process. Now that section right there is wet right there, in this area right here. When that one dries, we'll switch it back over to this one. Anytime it comes to our technology, when we paint these things in, they always start off dark and they start to lighten as they start to dry. So I got a chance to see as I'm doing the demonstration. If we paint a surface that has a childlike protective coating, it's a headache. It's definitely literally a headache. We have to do multiple passes. When over there, we didn't have to do one pass and we're done. This is why you have to do these tests. This is information that you get from the product. So now we can load this in the specification sheets. Okay, this is the deal. It's that and the other, so and so and so. Not gonna be a problem. And by the way, doesn't hotspot. My projector is 3600 lumens ultra short throw. So my projector is actually has a much higher lumen throw, actually a much higher lumen capability than a P2. It's 3600 lumens. That's the reason why I chose that one. Because usually when we use a screen that doesn't have a lot of black in it, they have an issue with basically absorbing light. You're still going to have to do a pass over in here, because this area right here, we get to do over there again to darken that a little bit. I'll add a little bit, just a little bit, not too much, because I don't want to kill my contrast here. Let's go back to that OLED horse. That I need to see.
At Aspen Dental, new patients without insurance get a free complete exam and x-rays and 20% off treatment plans.
Good security. Tall.
that's good. That's really good. I would still, if I'm doing fabric, no, you probably could just roll right over top of it literally, because we were just using that small roller. We were able to roll with no problem. So you pretty much can just roll over top of it. If it was me, how I would do it, basically, like I said, I would do a piece of plexiglass. You can paint this right to your wall, but make sure the wall basically doesn't have that kind of protective coating. If it doesn't have protective coating, you can roll right over top of it with no problem whatsoever. But you've seen the results. This is the cause and effect. So this is good for me because if a customer is rolling over a screen, a wall, and it's coming up looking like that, we know exactly what it is because we did the test. This is why you can't troubleshoot things if you don't test the product. People, when they make products, they're afraid of basically things not working out. Excuse me, that's what you call troubleshooting, fixing the problem, making it better. This is why the tests are important. If you skip these, what's going to happen is customer is going to end up falling into this nonsense, and they're going to have to deal with that. And you can't fix it because you don't know how to troubleshoot it because you don't know the cause and effect because you didn't do the test. So if anyone comes up and says, "Hey, I painted a wall," and we look at it, we can tell automatically from the door that the wall has a childproof coating, childproof surface on it. So I'll be taking pictures of that, of one and one it's not, and we'll basically be posting. Oh, I forgot, I got to do a demonstration for a customer for something else I got to do today too. Oh, this is going to look fantastic. And it's not even dry in here. It's still wet in this section right here. So that screen's allowing it to capture light. Mine, like I said, my projector is 36. Oh, we don't have to add the heightener to it. Thank goodness we keep our contrast. Yes. We don't have to touch it. We don't have to touch it. We don't have to touch it. Nothing on it. We don't have to touch nothing on it. Well, Vava's going to have an issue now. We now have technology probably better than theirs now. My screen is actually literally darker than their screen. And it costs far less. And we're in a fully lit environment. We actually have more light in this environment than they have in all their demonstrations combined. I gotta get a piece of wallpaper. I'm gonna paint this onto a wallpaper surface. We're gonna make two versions of this. We're gonna make this version right here, and then we're gonna make a lighter version than this. Two different versions for the customers. Because they don't give you that option, but we're gonna give you that option for free. Oh yes! This is gonna be fun. I love giving my customers more. Well, we've had companies contact us asking us to develop technology for their projectors. No, because we know what you guys are going to do with it. You guys are going to charge a whopping insane price, and that leaves out the everyday Joe. Now, for the customers who already ordered theirs in, customers already ordered theirs in, happy, happy, joy, joy. So we got our section over here we haven't. Because again, the coating, shall coating surface. That's what we're doing because I need this. Oh yes, definitely. Hold on for a minute. I want to go with Mainly in these levels, I'm looking for heavy contrast levels. Contrast tests.
Getting that from YouTube.
Ooh, where do we want to go? We're going here. You better stay out of my window. You know what? This is not the time to come in here and want to be an idiot. Get out of my section now. Go, 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 go. My cat has the worst timing ever. When I'm here working with stuff all over the place, he wants to be in here, Mr. Curious George. Got a big old open window in the front. Go out your window and yell at people. You've been doing it for 4 hours. Yeah, Taco gets in trouble. He gets in trouble like there's no tomorrow. He gets in trouble. You know, cats are mischief as mischief can be. That's what they do. I'm so happy with this. So we're going to do 2 versions of this for you guys. We're going to do one version that's going to be this color, and another version that's going to be a little lighter for those of you who want that lighter. Remind you, we're going to put those policies in there telling you that this is what's going to change on, okay? We'll do it side by side. That's why I'm going to get the wallpaper surface. We're going to paint one side on one side, one on the other. We use ultra short throws. You can use this with long throws if you want to. For those of you who want a lighter screen, maybe the black technology is not your thing at the end of the day, then you have something here. And for those of you who have those projectors, now you don't have to be stuck with some company charging you $600 for a screen. You don't have to go through that. That gets eliminated. I tell you, they don't like me. The big companies don't like me at all, period. You know why. They don't like me at all, but I don't care. I don't care. Sooner or later, one of these circles are going to try to drag me in court like when Mr. Bird has to have him cut into our profit. So this is fair game. What are you crying and whining about? Now, would I be using this in my spot? Nah, I'm dark technology. That's me. That's my thing at the end of the day. Is this considered to be gunmetal? No. Not even close. Because it actually gives a person who has the Vava projector and Wemax projector, you know, a chance of having better contrast to be able to use it in a fully lit environment. That's why I can't stand when you do those demonstrations talking about, we're in a fully lit environment. No, the freak you ain't. Where are we getting this from at the end of the day? Who came up with that freaking theory? You are not in a fully lit environment. Now, it's not going to make it over here. If you notice, it's really not going to make it over here. But as you can see, there's light hitting the screen because of how bright my walls are. That's how much light's making contact. Walls tell the whole story. Now we'll put in a list of things we should suggest that you do prime. We're going to put that in all our carts, all our product descriptions on things you should prime. Fabric is definitely one of them. Due to the fact that even though we're able to coat that surface over there with no problem, fabric absorbs. The reason why we tell you to do that because we want you to put on 2 coats of any kind of paint. Doesn't make a difference, any kind of paint, because you need it to absorb. That's what you needed to do. Hold on for a minute. My cat's having a mental breakdown. Yeah, screen's wet because we passed over it. And make sure all the areas are coated in. I like this. Okay, I'm happy with this. We don't have to change the jack. I'm gonna bring out my other projector. Well, 36. The other one, Sony is 3,000 lumens. But if 36 is able to push off of this with no problem, without having any hot spotting issues, everything else is going to run. They consider, now mind you, the projector they had in there, we went at $5,000 for. That projector was 35. These are 36. We can get 36 to generate off this surface without basically hot spotting and all the lighting we have in the environment. Yeah, not a problem. Now the screen, we want to do the passover because we want to make sure we got all the areas done. It's going to get lighter than that. And the contrast shifting is going to generate, which you're seeing right now. It's going to be the function a little darker. So now we even the playing field again. We allow that now you don't have to spend $600 for the Vava projection screen. You don't have to spend anywhere from a price range of $1,200, $1,400, or $5,000 for a screen that our technology will be able to do with no problem whatsoever. I wish I can get it down here to do a side by side, but Vava screens are virtually impossible to get samples of. I tried already. But we're going to see if we can get samples of the other one. Next week, we'll prime the walls in. I'm going to get enough demonstrations on this. We'll prime the walls in, and we'll get ready for a gunmetal technology, which I cannot wait. That thing is going to be an absolute beast. Anything I engineered to go on my walls, it's going to be insane. I'm going to have one of these set up. Probably in the kitchen. I'm going to probably put one in the kitchen. And this will be in the showroom. I mean, I really thought that when these projectors first came out, that they weren't going to be around much. They weren't going to be around, and they're going to be gone. That's what I figured that was going to happen to them. But no, they are generating these things left and right. So now the problem the customer is going to go through is the fact that he or she is going to have to spend the money for that those screens because they know you don't have any option. What other option do you have? You can't go near gunmetal technology. That stuff won't pull up on it, and you can't go near the white and gray screen, so that's not going to work. So the only screen option they have is their screen. Well, now that's not an option anymore. So let's go to, let's see. I want to check out my fish. Make some colorful fish. Oh, fire. You ever seen the picnic? They had two kinds of kids with fire, and kids could give them sparklers. And the one girl, she's dancing around the back and like do 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 do, and this kid just comes running by, telling, "Someone's gave me fire!" I'm like that. There you go. There's two types of kids. See how that flame pulls up? We want to see that black. Well, the background technically is not black. It's a different. It's a darker shade of gray. But you see how it pops, and you see how the fire flickers in the background, see the different colors that pop off, see the white levels that pull. This is the stuff we're looking for, and it has to generate in fully lit environments. If I did this demonstration in the dark, I'd be cheating my customers because, again, these are ultra short throw projectors. They're designed like tabletop TVs. If you're going to tell me it's a TV, it should react like a TV. It shouldn't be stuck in a dark environment. That's the one thing I don't like about the demonstration called IWA, or whatever it's called, that projector's called, no disrespect toward them. You can't sit there and say that we're in a fully lit environment when I'm looking down the hallway and I'm like, wow, look at all the light in the hallway compared to the booth. The booth was so dark. That's the problem. Now let's show you what lights are for those you need to know. Ain't much of a difference. This ambient light projection technology, that's what we engineer, that's what we specialize in. See? We literally have more light in this area right here than they had touching their screens at their expo. Yeah, we gotta do a little better than that. Rain in the day. I'm always expecting better from these companies. For that kind of money you charge at the end of the day, Huh. I wonder what Taco was arguing out the window. He's always arguing with something. I'm gonna check on him. Mr. Taco, come here. Taco. 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 Taco, son. You want to bathe? Sunbathe? Taco. Where you at, Taco? Can you hear Taco? Nope. This is usual hiding places there. I'm trying to find Taco future hiding places. Taco. Okay. Okay, that's right. So since I did the corners and all, we did a pass over the screen. It's drying. We're gonna do another demonstration when it's fully dry. While you were drying it without a fan. So that tells you how fast the drying time is. No fans in here. I haven't done a gaming demonstration, so I'm gonna do a gaming demonstration on the big screen in the other room. I'm down into some zombies. We disconnect and going in the room where the let that dry up right there. Happy. Yeah, that multi-pass, man, yeah, that's the childlike, you have to, we're gonna put all that information in there. So we have all the information we got from here and doing the paint on with the surface, that information we got, you painted on the surface, that's gonna be the reaction, multiple passes. If you do come across the surface, it does, when you paint it, it should never come up that light, or product should never come up much darker. So if that's the case and you're seeing that sign, prime the surface. Because that's a childlike surface, what a childproof surface, that's what it's called. Anything else, we can paint right over top with no problem. I go to Home Depot, I'll pick up a sheet of drywall. I'm gonna roll right over top that, no priming whatsoever. So we can have that for you. These will all be going onto the page for our test demonstrations. This product we have here has already been tested. We've had it tested when we first got it. It's being integrated with the new technology, which can alter and change it. Now, if I'm doing it, truthfully, if I'm going to do one, the guy was asking about paint sprays. Yeah, you can paint spray. I would paint spray this on some plexiglass. That's what I would do. Definitely on plexiglass. That's how we do it. You can spray it on your wall, whatever you want, or roll it on your wall. It's up to you. I would not use the roller I use in the demonstration. Don't do that. Use the big boy rollers. Tape under my freaking feet and everything else. Let me get AK Earth.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now, like I said, it's still in drying stage. Once it dries, which should be no time at all, we don't have a fan here, so it's going to do it on its own. It's going to get much brighter than that. Contrast levels are still going to stay the same. It's going to get much brighter. And I advise you do not use the roller I used in the demonstration. Now, we're going to make two versions of this. This is the darker version. We're going to make a lighter version of it. That's going to be a free option. It's up to you on which one you want to choose. We'll do it side by side on a wallpaper surface. That way you go, maybe I'll go with this one, or maybe I'll go with that one. It'll give you an option of which one you want to go with. So we're going to give you the option. If you want to go lighter, we'll do a lighter one. If you want one that's going to give you a little more contrast, this is what's going to give you with the contrast. All right? That'll be a free option. Now, for those of you who are asking me, and I've gotten this before, do I have to have one of these Vava Wemax? But no, you don't have to. You can use this with any kind of projector you want. It just makes it compatible with those particular projectors. That way I don't have to turn away these customers anymore. Now this technology is available on our website for around $295 or something in that price range. But anyway, one quart paints up to a 150-inch screen. We're going to have two versions of this. This is going to be the darker version. Then we're going to have another version that's going to be much lighter. Depends on which one you want to go with. That is a free color option, so you know. You will not be paying extra for that. You know, I know you heard me dozens of times saying that I like black technology. That's our field at the end of the day. But just like how these big companies at the end of the day only cater to people with deep pockets. If you ain't get deep pockets, then just what you got to deal with the white screen or some gray screen at the end of the day. That's what you have to deal with. So me basically stating that, okay, yeah, we only do with black technology, it scoots up people who have those particular projectors. Even though I'm not a big fan of them and I don't like them at all, period. I don't feel like the projectors give enough back to the customers. It's a shame for the customers to get caught up with those projectors. They can't return them. They're stuck with them, and they paid a lot of money for them. So why should they have to be stuck with the white and gray screen? So this even, and then on top of that, it has to be subjected to being pushed in to buying an expensive screen. They're already upset about the projector, but now you're going to force me to go buy this screen at the end of the day. That's not fair. So let's fix it. I'll be back. Let's go. You got a commercial, really? Seriously, why would I leave out the room with commercials? I just realized when you watch that commercial with John Travolta and the other guys from Scrubs, who do you think's getting paid more? He's definitely getting paid more. But then when you see demonstrations, you start thinking like, are they broke? They're not broke, probably just me. I don't know. That's kind of interesting though. When we really think about it. I mean, at that particular time when they were big time stars, they really wouldn't take do anything like that at all. But no, that's just, I don't know. I mean, it ain't my business today. No, that's not my business. Who cares? I got things to do. Strangers at night, exchanging glances. Let's see what else we got that's real. Oh, Froggy Boy. Alright, let me go set up the next one. I'll get a commercial while I'm here. Commercial. This nonsense. You waste more food. Come on, man. That's not doing his best. It's good. You have any idea how much money I spent for your food? You hear me back there arguing with my cat? You asked me back there arguing with my cat. Joker, every friggin' time I'll go to pick up his dish, I smell something funny. Has a habit of knocking his water dish all over the place, and the water shifts, spills all into his food. And you gotta dig all that out because at the end of the day it becomes moldy, can make the animal sick. Gee whiz, he wastes a lot of food. I'm velcroing your dish to the floor tomorrow. LG beta fish.
Getting that from YouTube.
When I say cereal,
Are we getting the right one, or are we getting what they want to give us?
tis the season for non-drowsy symptom relief from over 200
Yeah, that ain't happening.
outdoor allergens, day after day. Live Claritin Clear.
Oh, this is good. Now mind you, the wall behind it is gray. Same gray paint, same gray tone as in most gray screen paints you would see on the market. Like I said, there's an interesting tone to it. I see that struck a nerve right there. Anytime we do these screens, we got naysayers in here automatically in here, always wondering what Mr. Bird is doing at the end of the day. What is he up to? This, that, and the other. You're welcome to come in. If I mention something, you don't have to go running out of the room. You can stay in here. Like I said, it's our little secret. Don't worry about it. No one's gonna know. When we get them, they come in here all the time, watch and see what I'm up to, what I'm designing, what I'm making. Guess there's nothing going on the other channel, so yeah, we do. For your naysayers to come in here, you're welcome to come anytime you want to. But also understand that we don't do dark demonstrations in here. This is ambient light rejection technology. So this is designed so our customers don't have to be trapped in the dark trying to GPS where the coffee table's at. There's no calibrating. I'm not going to tell you that in demonstrations. I know you're used to hearing that, but we're not going to tell you to calibrate and ambient light controlled environments and blah, blah, blah. No, we don't do that. Got a 150-inch screen in the next room I'm about to go do some gaming on, and I got all my windows open, and I'm not having a problem in there. This is what we do. So I know you're not used to this, but hey, sit down, grab some popcorn, and enjoy. You don't have to go running out of the room. You can come in here. We just have to take the comments off because for some reason you just don't seem to be able to control your emotions, and you have to, just display just too much. And to keep you from embarrassing yourself, this is why we remove the comments. Because when we do post your comments, it's a laugh factory for people who watch it. So since y'all can't seem to keep your emotions together, we have to take them off for you, okay? So enjoy. But to everybody else, hey, check it out. We know they're in here. We definitely know you're in here. Where else would you be? Now later on, some of you will be sitting in the dark. I can't get over this one. Dark environment, criticizing my technology in a fully lit environment. A friend of mine was crying about this. He said, yeah, I saw the demonstration. Guy is sitting in a dark environment, talking about my environment, talking about my technology is sitting in a fully lit environment. How does that work? Sounds like a hater to me. Now, when I analyze y'all videos, it is what it is. You can't call yourself ambient light rejection technology if I'm seeing lights highly illuminated and the rest of the environment is just super dark. We saw in somebody's demonstration was trying to talk about ambient light rejection. No, man, a bunch of lanterns in the middle of a forest does not make that ambient light rejection. I mean dark forest. That environment was dark. I could have slapped a night light in there and that thing would illuminate it. That's one of the things we noticed from somebody else's demonstration. They literally had some kind of night light in the corner, and that thing was, I was like, oh, environment's too dark. Yeah. And y'all refuse to do contrast demonstrations and all that stuff. I don't know. I don't get it. Y'all have to do all that. I keep telling you, if you're going to be doing demonstrations and involving contrast, you have to be in a fully lit environment.
Full of beautiful creatures.
I bet it is. Yeah, I like watching fish all day. Let's get some outer space screensavers.
Getting that from YouTube.
Y'all shy away from that. Y'all shy away from the light. Y'all shy away from the contrast demonstrations. This is important. This is what the customer needs to see. They need to see this with maximum amount of lighting, so that way they're not being tricked. When you do these demonstrations in a dark environment, when you try to show contrast in dark environments, what happens when the customer turns on the light? What happens is the customer's environment is not like your environment. From one person we saw already, we know who we're talking about. All your customers literally sit in the exact same environment that you're sitting in. Every last one of them, except for that one fellow who opened up the curtains. That screen should have never washed out like that. Never should have washed out like that bad. No, 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 no. Now you see right there, we have half of the screen right here. Right there, half of the screen right there. That's a 3600 lumen projector, which means that screen is just generating a ton of lumens that slam in the screen. A gray screen, as I said before, they can't see contrast, can't see color. It's not even registering on the gray surface right there. And for any one of you who want to sit there and say, oh, your wall is not the same as mine, you do not want me buying your product and laying you against this wall. You don't want that kind of embarrassment. So I would advise you don't make that statement, because I will go order your stuff. If you cancel out, it automatically knows from the door there's something wrong with your product if you cancel out. So when I say your product is the color of this wall, that it will blend into the. And if you want to call me a liar and say I can't back it up, I'll pull out the debit card and I'll start making orders. If you cancel, then we already know. Now the lighter version we're going to make, still, it's going to be better than the wall. Now they give you the option of 2 ways you want to go with it. I don't know how to say the lights are 21 feet high and they're disrupting the screen. Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? I thought that's the funniest thing I've heard in my entire life.
Get rock solid deals at Gateway Kia's President's Fund Savings Event.
Those lights are inflicting your screen's capability. What happens to the average owner like me? What would happen if I use these lights in an environment with that screen? It'll wash out. They're going to tell me I have to be in an ambient light controlled environment. Well, guess what? It doesn't have to be in an ambient light controlled environment. A TV. TVs are not in ambient light controlled environments. You can't come out there and advertise a projection screen setup, ultra short though at that, as being the replacement for a TV. TVs don't have to be stuck in booths. If you go to any freaking TV show where they have OLEDs, none of them are stuck in booths. Trying to hide light around, that's unheard of. That's the most dumbest thing you've ever heard in your entire life. Who buys a TV and says, oh wait, turn out the lights, we can't see the TV that well. Shut the windows, we can't see the TV that well. No one says that. That's the dumbest thing you've ever heard in your entire life. So you can't come up there, this company, well, I forgot the name of it, but we saw the demonstration yesterday. It's going to talk about, it's a laser TV setup. No, it's not. Your lights are 21 feet or more up there and you're complaining about that? So what happens to the customer who sticks that in their environment with my lighting? Then what? We're going to advise to control the environment. The lighting has to be, yeah, whatever. Yeah, right. For $10,000 worth of freaking of home theaters equipment? Are you kidding me? $5,000 for a 150-inch screen, another $5,000, $5,500 for the projector? No, that's not going to happen. Now the Sony, this has a 4,000-to-1 contrast. The Sony we're going to bring out here, I think has a 2 or 3. It said 3,000. Let me just do also 2. But you got to track down the remote control for that thing. Now you see how beautiful that looks? This is what I look when I watch these demonstrations and you hear Mr. Bird and they're ranting about what the freak is going on in this environment. Why is the screen so freaking, why is the environment so dark? Where's the contrast levels? See, nothing but color, nothing but color, nothing but color, nothing but color, color. I'm gonna set my game system up for the next room. But yeah, because I expect to see better. And for any one of the companies want to sit there and say, well, can you show? Yeah, I can show you better, much, much better. But you're not gonna like the price of what I charge my customers compared to what you charge yours. That you will not like. Mr. Taco. Mr. Taco, what's up, man? In your neighborhood. Okay, let me see. Take this one. think I finally jacked up my PS4 controller. I had it forever. I think I jacked it up. Did a good job jacking it up. Let's see. There we go. Turn our contrast levels.
Every day is unlike any day.
Making sure contrast levels are pulling up in the fully lit environment. I'll be back. I'll have to get a booster for that one section in there because for some reason the network for internet runs everywhere else in our house perfectly. In the apartment, that section doesn't run for jack. I don't know what it is, but where that wall is at, there's an issue there. How much time? Oh wow, we're that much time in. All right, I'm going to cut this. Let me see the red. Oh yeah, pretty much. I'm going to basically from here we're done. So I'm doing some demonstration setting up for the next room. So we'll be back in to check this out again to do some more demonstrations on this. Hope you enjoyed. Gotta go. Thank you all and God bless. Yeah, come in the other room.